Alright everyone, welcome back. What is going on? Now, I've been out most of the day. I've climbed a mountain today. Basically, it's the Queen's Jubilee here in the UK. So, I haven't really sat down today. And I've just come back. I've just watched a video from Lieutenant Buzz Lightbeer. Here's his Twitch page. If you don't follow Lieutenant Buzz Lightbeer, I highly recommend you do, because he does some amazing content. Just watch this video here. It says, I'd much rather be posted content with a different tone for the Division game agents, but this needed to be said. And then obviously you can see with the title, WTF, what is going on. And in it, he basically talks about his concern about all the stuff that's going on in the Division. Well, basically ever since the whole issue with Fei Lao at the end of season 4 or whatever, season 6 or whatever it was, where obviously we didn't really get like a final cutscene or whatever it is. And obviously since TU15 has gone live, there's been so many issues with this game, and there's been, as I've said in many videos, it's up and down and up and down. It's pretty much a roller coaster at this point. But the reason I watched this video, guys, is because if you didn't know, and I'm sure you did, or you do know by now, the Division was meant to have a maintenance today, where they were meant to be implementing the Fairview Crew Apparel Event, and it never happened. And then they put out this tweet 5 hours ago. As you may have noticed, the maintenance has been delayed. Yeah, we know. Sadly, Fairview Crew Apparel Event won't be releasing today. We'll get back to you once we have more information. And so I was out when I saw this, and I just, for me, I was just like, I'm not surprised. In fact, when I covered the TU15.1 patch notes on Tuesday, and obviously I said that the Fairview Crew Apparel Event should be coming out today, I said don't be surprised if it gets delayed. Now, this is the third time it's been delayed. The reason I thought it might get delayed was because they may want to push out a fix for the issues with conflict at the moment, which conflict has been disabled. Basically, if you go into conflict now, you can't have a game. There's no way to matchmake or anything like that at all. It's basically been disabled to avoid people going in there and and having their expertise levels wiped, which was another bug that came out recently following the maintenance. I believe it was on Tuesday. So yeah, just kind of going off track. So we've had that issue. So when I covered this on the patch notes on T15.1, I thought, you know what, it may get delayed again to push out a fix for that. But that's not the reason why it's been delayed. And let's just want to have a look at some tweets here from Yannick and Pally to kind of understand what is going on. So obviously Yannick says here, another impact of not releasing content for a while, the tech evolved. There's still a lot we need to relearn. Sorry for disappointing you. And he's referring to this tweet here, which I want to go over. Firstly, he's obviously Pally, who deals with all the he's like the art direction, right? He's dealt with the apparel stuff. That's kind of his baby, as it were. Obviously, he's put side to this particular post from the Division 2, and then he puts here, I expect the community to be disappointed and angry. We are too. I know this doesn't help. I have so many young artists waiting for their work to go live. For some, their first game credits. They are also disappointed as anyone. We let our players down. We let our colleagues down. Both feel awful, I assure you. Yell at me if you're going to yell at anyone. At the end of the day, apparel events are my responsibility. And then he goes on to say this. So I think someone says, so tell us how hard it is to follow the season roadmap you set out and have the template for. Does this apparel event even exist yet, or are you still working on it? Just be honest with the community. Which Pally responds saying, okay, fair. Assets have been ready for a while. We set them up exactly as before, and I assume that means as they were done in previous seasons, 2 years ago, whatever it was. But a lot of infrastructure tech is shared across projects. I think I underestimated how much changes to back-end architecture for other projects would impact us. So it appears to be an issue where basically stuff has changed in 2 years, and what used to work 2 years ago no longer works now. And obviously this, I assume this wasn't tested, and that's why they gave dates on when the apparel event would go live, and then when they went to make it go live, they realised actually they couldn't because of these issues. Now, in terms of a time frame on when we might get this apparel event, Pally did say this. So someone says, I think the big question is Is this a weeks out time frame, a few days time frame, or an indefinite because something is majorly wrong? Of which Paddy responded saying literally a couple of bugs on specific platforms. It could take hours or days. I expect hours. I don't know how long ago that was, that particular. I was at 5:35 my time, so that was about 4 hours ago. We haven't heard anything since then, so I'm going to say it's not hours, unless of course it has been fixed and they might push out a maintenance perhaps tomorrow. You know what, guys? I'd be surprised if they do. I'm not expecting this now to come out till next Tuesday, when we normally get maintenances on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't come out till next Tuesday now. And whilst the communication here is great, right? There's no denying that, right? The fact that Pally has responded, Yannick's responded, and they're transparent and they're open about the reasons as to why this has been delayed again. I don't think we can excuse the fact this is the third time the Fairview Crew Apparel Event has been delayed. And as you need to watch Buzz's video. You really need to watch Buzz's video, because he really does. Highly recommend you check this video out, because he does put it in the best way possible. I just want to know what's going on. Like, Yannick is obviously the creative director. Now, there's this whole... Buzz was talking about this whole thing about the chill out mask, which was dropping in Countdown, and it was also dropping from caches. Now, the Countdown mask, from my understanding, was a seasonal specific item. I think it was obviously for Christmas or whatever it was. Yeah, it was for Christmas of 2020, 2021. I can't remember. Anyway, it was a seasonal item, and my understanding is it had been removed, but it was appearing in Countdown, it's appearing in caches, and apparently there was different devs saying one thing about it should be there and it shouldn't be there, blah blah blah. But overall, Yannick actually came out and said, "Look, it's not meant to be there. It's going to be removed, and because it's a seasonal item." And then I saw some tweets. I went and looked at tweets from Morten Ryberg, who confirmed the same thing. Daria General, the community developer, said the same thing basically, and so it is going to be removed. So there's that. But apparently there was some back and forth between the devs around that, and just overall, it just looks like a mess. It really does, and I hate to make these kind of videos. I really do, and I'm not scripting this one, so I'm just speaking it as it is. I hate to make these types of videos, but the fact is, it's got to the point now where if there's not a delay, it's kind of like I'm surprised. And it should never be like that, right? If there's not a delay or there isn't a problem, then I'm actually surprised. And I don't think that's a good thing. Now, I have been defending the devs around bugs and stuff since TU15. I've called them out on it for sure. When we had the PC crash issue, which affected Buzz massively and affected anyone who's on PC really, I called them out on that, because at the end of the day, that needs to be fixed ASAP. And they were talking about TU16, not in official capacity. There was no tweet from this official Division 2 account. It was from Daria General, and I've said that needs to be like an official statement about that. So I've called them out on stuff, but I've defended them in terms of some of the bugs. Really, I have, because at the end of the day, I know the team working on this game are a small team, and it's a big game. And even big teams working on big games have problems. You look at Destiny 2, a game that I've loved forever and still play a lot. Well, I don't play as much now, but I bought the most recent updates, and I bought the Witch Queen expansion. Even that game, they've had the Telesto in that game, a weapon in that game that breaks the game every couple of months. I mean, there's a build in Destiny 2 right now that can pretty much solo any content easily. And I know that's not intended. And that game has a ton of bugs. I watched a video recently from, I can't remember, is it Fallout Plays or someone, I can't remember exactly who it was. And they did a 10-minute video on all the broken stuff in Destiny 2. And that game has, I would say, upwards of 1,000 people working on it. So, bugs and stuff are part of gaming. And I know that. But it just feels like when there's been a 2-year kind of lull, no content, and then we finally get some content and all these issues are coming to life, it feels frustrating. And I know Yannick has basically said, look, the team are new, there's a new team, they're inexperienced with everything, and that's probably the main reason why these issues of risen up. But for me, more than anything, there just needs to be some cohesion here. Don't commit to a date of a release of something unless you know really 100% that it's going to go through. I understand that that's not always going to happen, right? Because stuff does come up last minute. There's no denying it. But with the Division 2, it's becoming so frequent that this happens. It's beyond me being able to defend them in any way, and I have to call it out. It is gone too far, and the devs know that. Paddy even says, "Look, if we're angry, I know you're angry, and just send me all the stuff." And I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's right of me to go on there to Paddy and write a horrible message, because ultimately I'm still going to be I'm not that sort of person anyway. But yeah, I've got to say it how it is. This is very disappointing, and the devs need to do a lot better. They really need to do a lot better than this, and I expect a lot more. Now, Paddy did say that for Season 10, the weapon skins and stuff, he's going to make sure they blow our heads off as a result of this, and that's good to hear. But it doesn't help us now, does it? So anyway, guys, that's it. I'm just rambling now. That's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, although you probably didn't because of what we talked about. It's not a video that I wanted to make, and I'm sure you guys don't want to hear about, but it is what it is. I can't not say something. The same way Buzz Lightyear, he doesn't make the sort of videos anymore that he made today because he hasn't needed to, but he was obviously very frustrated in this video, very annoyed, and deservedly so. And so, yeah, really highly recommend you go check out his video. It's really, really good. It's much better than this one in terms of how he's presented the video, because, yeah, I'm just rambling off on the top of my head after a long mountain walk. Till the next one, Epic out.